Who is Larry Ellison? What is Project Stargate? What does it mean for us? What is AI governance? Why do we want to lead in AI and cryptocurrency? Let's find out.
Declaration of confidence in America's potential under a new president. This is, to me, a very big thing. $500 billion Stargate project. I think it's going to be something that's very special.
It's a very peculiar name off the rip, Stargate. So those of us that are familiar with the esoteric and have a good biblical knowledge know that what's really going on behind the scenes in this world full of spiritual warfare is derived from the fallen angels, right? And the fallen angels are referred to often as stars. Project Stargate, allowing them to come through into this reality. Just spitballing here.
It'll lead to something that could be the biggest of all.
President Trump just moments ago here at the White House announcing this new project for infrastructure inside the U.S. for artificial intelligence, and three men are teaming up with the president in this public-private partnership, and that is Sam Altman, OpenAI CEO, Larry Ellison, Oracle founder, chairman of the board, and chief technology officer.
I don't know who this guy is. I know he runs OpenAI, Sam Altman. I haven't heard good things about him. I've heard very bad and seen very bad things about this guy.
The video that the police officer is, by the way, and the camera's always on. You don't turn it on and off. And by the way you turn it on, you can't turn it on. I'm going to the bathroom. Oracle, I need 2 minutes to take a bathroom break, and we'll turn it off. The truth is, we don't really turn it off. The truth is, we don't really turn it off. What we do is we record it so no one can see it, but no one can get into that recording without a court order. So you get the privacy you requested, but a court order, if you get a court order, we will, judge, can order, I want to look at that, this so-called bathroom break. If there's something comes up, and plus I'm going to lunch with my friends. Oracle, I need an hour for privacy with lunch with my friends. God bless. We won't listen in unless there's a court order. Citizens will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording and reporting everything that's going on. Citizens will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording and reporting everything that's going on. And we're using AI to monitor the video.
I'm not going to go into the specifics and all the talking points of the World Economic Forum's AI governance summits, but if you do a simple YouTube or Google search, you can find plenty of videos ranging from 3 weeks ago up until a year. And in this video in particular, you can see they have it broken down into chapters: U.S., China, AI cooperation, AI governance and social media, one global digital space, all very concerning language. And when you pair that with Larry Ellison's Oracle and what he says its role is with AI, and what you have is a recipe for certain disaster. This guy is 80, by the way. This lighting maybe ages him a little bit, but in other interviews, the guy doesn't look a day past 55. So it makes you wonder, what do these people know that we don't know?
Bank chairman and CEO. Gentlemen, thanks for being here. It's exciting. I heard the comments you made inside. First, let me talk to you, Sam, about what this means for AI in the future for the U.S. investment here.
This means we can create AI and AGI in the United States of America. Wouldn't have been obvious that this was possible. I think if a different president, it might not have been possible, but we are thrilled to get to do this, and I think it'll be great for Americans, great for the whole world.
And Masa, you said that this is the golden age. You used President Trump's phrase. Why is it this administration that can do it, do you think?
That's something I'm going to cover in another video. The golden age, the golden dawn, Hermetic golden dawn, which Madame Blavatsky and Alice Bailey talked about, from which the UN Charter is actually based off of. They talk about during their golden age that basically a Messiah figure will come All very occultic and esoteric. Anyway,
make deal happen. It's all energized. Approval come much faster, much bigger, and more meaningful way.
Larry, you talked
I'm
about
so
you
immature.
want
I want to
come
do the
out of
voice
this
so
as
bad.
far
I'm
as
so immature.
healthcare and other things.
Oh,
People
I
are starting to
international
get their head around
criminal.
AI, but not fully.
I international criminal, baby. I mean, that's what these people are, really. So.
Well, when you go to the hospital these days, if you're using a modern system, using a modern system, the doctor will get a little note written by AI describing what the purpose of the appointment, and then that note will have your latest lab tests and your and before, so the doctor's prepared when they meet with the patient. The AI will actually listen to the conversation between the doctor and the patient and make recommendations and improve the likelihood that the patient's going to get a high quality of care. It's easier for the doctor, it's better outcomes for the patient. It's really a revolution in medicine, but it's a revolution.
So there's no need for doctors then, because eventually these machines are going to be self-replicating, and I mean, won't the AI just build actual robotics, so we don't need these anymore, right? So I mean, they're already basically dictating what the doctors are going to do. There's going to come a point where physical human doctors are no longer going to be needed.
In many other industries as well. It just touches us all.
Sam, for the people who are concerned about AI on either the work and job front or just it's scary, what do you say to them that there are rails to make sure that it doesn't go out of bounds?
Yeah, there are hundreds of millions of people using these tools today. It'll go to billions. People are using it and really dependent on it for all sorts of great things in their lives.
It freaks me out.
We do have to put some rails on it. You can imagine ways it could go wrong. But if you look at the safety record, what we've been able to ship so far, what I think we'll be able to do in the future, the benefits of this tremendously outweigh the downsides. We have to be responsible how we do this. We have to build it carefully. But I think people are really good, and people will do, on balance, incredible things with this technology. The scale of this investment...
People are not really good, Sam Maltman. We are, we're fallen, very, very fallible people by nature. So, no, people are not good.
Obviously is huge, and what I think that says about the likely progress of the technology, at least what all of us believe, is correspondingly huge. But I have enormous faith we'll figure it out.
And the first one in Texas?
First one in Texas.
Okay.
Already going.
Yes.
And that's a big
Texas
project.
is going to be
Marcia,
like the
I
new
wanna ask
Mecca
you
of
about
America.
money and public-private partnerships before President Biden left in his farewell.
And they're talking about, you see, like, they're talking about putting like another Hollywood down there, like McConaughey and who's the guy that played in Natural Born Killers, Woody Harrelson, and like a whole bunch of these like classic actors, kind of blue collar, play like blue collar-ish roles, are all talking about petitioning the legislature in Texas to basically set up a Hollywood out there. And you know, we're going through this age of where everything is rapidly changing, and they're replacing, right? We're going through a build back better, so to speak, but right now the right wing has power, so it looks a lot different.
He expressed concerns over an oligarchy, the fact that guys with a lot of money would have a lot of influence on policy. You guys obviously have a lot of money, but you're putting it together with President Trump. How do you respond to that criticism about big money and its influence in U.S. government?
Well, for the better humanity of our future, we need big capital to invest into the project. You know, we cannot do it with the small money. We have to do the big investment for the good of humanity.
For humanity.
Yeah, create lots of jobs.
Larry, why on this day one do you think
be international
you decided to do
criminal?
this? I assume you've been working on it for a long time.
We have been working on it for a long time. The first data centers are actually under construction in Texas already, and we'll be turning them over to Sam to start training their next model. The data center we already built, it was the largest computer ever built. The data center we're building will
It's very big.
surpass it and be the largest computer ever built. which enables this AI, which will allow personalized medicine. This is going to touch all of us. Yes, it takes a huge investment, but the result of the investment will be vaccines that prevent cancers.
Hold up. So, you want to prevent cancer? What you do is you stop putting the cancer-causing agents into the food, into our daily consumable products, right? Stop spraying the sky with God knows what. Cancer didn't exist around, I don't know, say 100 years ago. And I don't know that by an actual specific metric. I know that it's a relatively new thing, right? And so the powers that be are creating the cancer. You want to get rid of cancer, you don't need these genetically altering, right, to fix that. Simple as that. Nor do you need genetically altering to fix anything for that matter, right? Like even if you are trying to fix the cancer that you created, we definitely don't want that as a response. So
Cancer diagnosis using AI has the promise of just being a simple blood test. Then beyond that, once we gene sequence that cancer tumor, you can then vaccinate the person, design a vaccine for every individual person, vaccinate them against that cancer. And you can make that mRNA, you can make that robotically, again using AI, in about 48 hours. So imagine early cancer detection, the development of a cancer for your particular cancer aimed at you, and have that vaccine available in 48 hours. This is the promise of AI and the promise of the future. Where we never again run into a problem like COVID-19 before, because we get an early warning. We know when COVID's...
Okay, I want to put context around this real quick. He's saying that if we had an earlier warning, if we had this AI technology, that we would been able to essentially implement Operation Warp Speed even faster, because the AI would have detected these traces of the disease early on, and it would have created a I don't want to say the word, you know what I'm talking about, the DART, right? Specifically, it would have created the M darts quicker. So what he's saying here essentially is he's lending credence to the M darts actually working when we know that they were poison, right? So he's saying that we could have had the poison earlier. I just want to put that in context because that's specifically what he's talking about. He's not talking about regular old jabby jabs. He's talking about the M ones, right? So just so everybody knows, there's layers of deception going on right here in this interview specifically.
Starts when there are a handful of patients rather than having to wait until it's become an epidemic and very difficult to control.
Not to mention that him and his cohorts in the elitist circles that he runs in knew about it to begin with, right? Like, I don't know if he did specifically, but we all know that this echelon of people know about these things in advance. That's why the stock market plummets or surges. You can see companies closing. Like, there was all kinds of telltale signs that happened right before the Great Pandemic.
This is a very large investment that affects all of humanity.
Can I ask
Sure
the
does.
three of you just really quickly to get a sense of where you see the economy? There seems to be this optimism, or like the yoke is being released as far as regulation and business to flourish. Is that fair? Is that a fair assessment? How do you see it?
I think so.
This is the beginning of golden age. You know?
There's that word again.
America will be great again.
You're using the president's words. I mean,
Yes.
he's got
Yes.
you. You said you were going to invest, $100 billion. He said, come back with $200 billion.
The thing about Musk is you can always negotiate him up.
You can always get him up. Now you're $500 billion.
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna cover Musk a lot here on this channel. A lot.
Gentlemen,
Got
thank
a
you
lot
for
to say
staying
about
out
him.
in the cold. We look forward to seeing what you all produce. Thank you.
Brett.
Thank you very
Okay, so I really want to touch base on the significance of this AI, and if you pay attention to what's going on at like Davos and the World Economic Forum and those circles, right? They're all talking about AI governance. Essentially, once that takes over, you aren't going to need these institutions any longer. You're not going to need an FBI and a CIA and a USAID and a FEMA and a Department of Homeland Security and a Department of Education and all of these institutions that we currently see being disbanded, or at least either being completely deleted, or they're largely being disbanded and there's mitigation happening, right? There's some quality and some quality control and cleanup going on. So what I want people to pay attention to is look for the bait and switch, because the agenda is AI governance. Trump has said that he wants to lead the world in AI and in cryptocurrency. This is what's going to make the beast system run. And you add that in tandem with an Elon Musk who wants to put chips in your brain and I would imagine eventually in your hand, you have the actual beast system. So while it looks like we're getting wins by, this government institution being disbanded, and we're finding all this corruption and all of this wasted money and all these slush funds were, giving condoms to people in Gaza or funding gender studies in Uganda, right? While it looks like we're getting all of that, keep in mind that in the future, when we have AI governance, that these will be obsolete institutions anyway. So it's killing two birds with one stone, essentially, right? It's brilliant if you really sit back and look at it, because you allow the people you gain trust, you give them wins, when eventually you're not going to need these institutions anyway. So I really want you to pay attention to that. I'm going to be covering a lot of things that people aren't talking about with Trump on this channel. I'm not a hater. I don't have DTS. I'm far from a liberal, if you can't tell, right? I'm far from a liberal. I'm going to be talking about things that the right wing won't talk about. So if you want to hear unadulterated, unbiased, void of personal emotion takes, follow me here. Whatever on whatever platform you're seeing me right now. So y'all have a good one. God bless y'all, and I hope to see you back.